this jungle clearing you had flown over with the waterfall. You always want to go. So as you were leaving, I think it was in Laos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You stopped in there. You came down in the helicopter to look around.
Well, I felt like I owed it to that grave marker. The grave marker said, "If you should ever think of me when I have passed this veil, and wish to please my ghost, forgive a sinner and smile at a homely girl." But I didn't know that. I didn't find that until I went down there after I was shot down the day before. Picked up, taken to Nakhon Phanom, Thailand in a helicopter and flew back to Tuiwa, South Vietnam, where I was stationed. Then I talked to an Army buddy who had a helicopter to take me out there. It was very moving. It changed my life, and I talk about that at some length in my book.
And that's why I really love the issues that you bring up, because what do we have? What do we leave behind? You know, as long as they say, as long as someone remembers us and says a prayer for us, we live that long, but that's just a couple of generations.
People, your listeners will say, well, some of them will say, well, you know, I don't have anything to leave behind, but they do. They need to write their memoirs. Mm-hmm. Even if they write it out in pencil and paper, send it to the Library of Congress, date it and sign your name, and put everything you know about yourself in that. Because 100 or 500 years from now, that's going to be an important document.
Yeah, well, look at, you know, the stuff from medieval times, what they had for breakfast.
That's right, and we all have so much to offer. Human makeup, I think. If you haven't been consumed by something in your life, then I think you deserve another turn.
Well, in your biography, your memoir, you talk about you flew how many fighter missions in Vietnam?
I flew 328 combat missions in Vietnam.
And once or twice you were shot down.
I was shot down twice.
And you described this extraordinary experience that you had being shot down in this little valley with a waterfall and tripping over something.
I tripped over a grave marker. It was a stone grave marker, about 14, 15 inches wide. It was face down. And I didn't know what it was really, except there were a lot of aluminum grave markers around in the tall grass where I tripped. And I turned it over, and there was an inscription on it, a French soldier's name. And then in English it said, "If you should ever think of me when I have passed this veil and wish to please my ghost, forgive a sinner and smile at a homely girl." Wow. And one thing led to another. I came home 2 days later, and I didn't think much about it because the homecoming and being missing in action, those things took some of my time. But the secret of that thing crept back into my mind, and it changed my life over a period of the next couple of years.